Welcome back to another episode of Tech Talks. I'm excited for today because we have Tech Talks 2.0 launching, and I have Heather Kurzenski, and she is our contact center expert and guru. But I'm really excited because she provides so much value and looks at customer experience in a different way. So with that, Heather, just give maybe a little bit quick background about yourself, and then let's dive in and talking about how customer experience can really drive ROI.
Yeah, I was gonna say Tech Talks 2.0 5 times fast and see how easy that was. Um, I'm Heather Kurzenski. I'm a CX program specialist, and I do exactly what Ashley just stated. We help customers in every type of vertical really navigate the CX landscape. It's a really hard world to navigate just because there's so much noise, there's so much information on it. So how do we make sure our customers feel confident in the tools that they're investing in, especially tools to drive ROI? I always like to really recall things in threes. And so we cover 3 points around how companies leverage tools like this to drive ROI. I think the first one is, wouldn't you agree, operational efficiencies?
Yes, I feel
Yeah.
like when you bring up operational efficiencies, I feel like sometimes that gets overlooked essentially in a contact center, because when you look at it from the perspective of breaking it again into threes, would be you're looking at it from the customer perspective, you're looking at it from the employee experience, but you're also just looking at it from kind of the technology and the workflows as well, like
hmm
within an organization. And, how would you say is, let's break that down a little bit more though, from each perspective. Okay, let's start off probably with or I would say customer experience in the operational efficiencies and how you can create more of that, of more efficiencies within for a customer.
Yeah. So I would start off with automation being the number one piece, right? So we think about automation from a self-service perspective. Self-service is easy to navigate and handle, right? So those little menial tasks like where's my order, or, you know, what's another one? I'm blanking. Where's my order?
Where it's
Order
I forgot
status.
my password.
Forgot my password. Forgot my password is a huge one. Why am I calling a 1-800 number if I forgot my password? That's just
Yes.
ridiculous,
Yes.
right? So it's absurd. So, in the reality of the sense is, from a generational perspective, I'm a millennial. There's no way I'm going to be calling a 1-800 number if I forgot my password. If a company does not have that, I'm not doing business with them. So, driving efficiencies through automation is huge. Again, basic automation through self-service, or you hear it every day of the week, every day of your life. You're eating it, breathing it, drinking it, AI. Bringing in AI to create
Mhm.
efficiencies. Um, I think just automating those menial tasks, having your agents and your high value agents, right? These are high value people. Agents are the most expensive part of a contact center. So these are high value people that deal with your customers on a daily basis. Shouldn't be dealing with order status. They shouldn't be dealing with password reset. They should be dealing with more complex interactions that they're having on a daily basis with customers, because at the end of the day, the customer isn't going to write a good review because you help them find their password. The customer is going to write a good review because they were happy with the experience they had, maybe when they had a big problem that need to be solved.
Hmm. I like that. And I think, and even when we talk about it too, is, you can kind of align sometimes customer experience also with employee experience. A lot of
hmm
times is like, especially from the contact center agent, is they're not wanting to help, 100 people, thousands of people a day per se, reset their passwords. Is they want to be able to really help customers in other ways where there's not any other options to be helping in that area. And being able to kind of create also an employee experience is also going to better the results even from the customer experience side, because
Yeah.
I can feel it, even just being an end user, going or calling into a contact center, when a employee is not happy, or you can tell that they're not liking what they're doing. You kind of want to ask is, what is that reasoning? Because energy, people breathe and other people's energy. And so when you're able to have kind of, that good experience, that good energy, that it begins to trickle down, that as a customer, I can walk away and say, wow, that was a great experience. I want to do business again with X, Y, and Z company.
Yeah. I can even imagine how frustrating it would be to be a contact center agent and just be like helping people with like, where's my order status? I'd be like, this is what I'm doing all day. It's just, it would drive me nuts. And so I completely understand, like, the energy on the other end of the phone. Like, I don't want to sit there and wait for somebody to get me this when I could have just got it through
Mhm.
automation. And then internally, from a business perspective, that just creates so much more efficiencies. Automation being number one. I think being the second one, you kind of tied into it when you were just talking, is obviously internal looking on internal ideas around what's being said. So quality management pieces that are creating efficiencies, right?
Mhm.
Coaching, training. Um, I talk to a lot of customers on a daily basis that from a customer service lens and customer experience lens, they're not doing a lot of QA. And you'd be surprised because there's so many products out there, but they're really
Mhm.
not. They're not, they're only able to listen to maybe 5 calls a week, grade them, and then score them for that agent. But I couldn't imagine how frustrating it is for an agent to not only have to deal with the menial tasks of order status, but then turning around and saying, okay, well, how's my performance been? And a QA auditor is like, oh, I haven't looked at your calls because I was looking at these other calls. Right. And so I don't know not only what from an agent perspective, what's going on, but if you're not looking at what the agents are saying, you're definitely not looking at what customers are saying. Right.
Mhm. Yeah, and I would definitely agree with that. And especially too is like you do bring up a good point when talking about, what are my customers are saying, but also, what are my agents saying? And sometimes too is, if let's just say there's an issue or a website is down and you're not able to connect and you're not able to purchase. So now there's high call volumes and maybe an agent is overwhelmed that they haven't opened up a ticket to say, hey, the website's down because they're having to deal with these high volume calls.
Hmm.
And now your business is essentially losing revenue because one is, I guarantee the people that are calling in are not going to wait for 5+ hours. Wait, well, we did have we did have a
Imagine.
customer that really their customers waited. They really did wait for those
That's
5 hours when there was
crazy.
issues, which now,
I'd be out of
there's a
there.
lot of
I can't
there.
even wait in line to get a Starbucks.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, no,
Exactly. But, you're going to have during those periods of times, it's going to be that higher abandon rate. But at the end of the day, though, is, from the quality management perspective is how are you actually able to analyze, what's going on? Could you be getting instant notifications? Could you be, with AI, you could be driving essentially that if website issue comes up more than 10 times during a conversation, then it's automatically IT, everybody knows, and now you have lessened that time frame
yeah,
of being down and driving those sales. But when you
yeah,
and I think though too is like when you say though, with the quality management as well is how do we know that, if let's just say you have 10 call or 100 call center agents and each of them are talking with obviously different customers, they're having different experiences. And what if 10, 15 customers have all called in saying about the quality of the product, or if you're like a
hmm,
food company is, on there's mold on my
imagine.
lettuce, for example.
Um,
It's like how do you know if you're not able to really be able to see those analytics of why customers are calling in? How do you know
yeah,
if it's actually a big problem or not? And at the end of the day, how much revenue is being lost because of that?
yeah. Or gained, right? So like our first point with
Mm-hmm.
operational efficiencies is like automation. Our second point is like having a full understanding of the business, what are customers saying, what are agents saying, right? Like doing
Mm-hmm.
that deep dive, that X-ray into conversations to maybe catch when we're losing revenue. And then the third
Mm-hmm.
one that just came to mind, easy upsell cross-sell motions, right? So
Mm-hmm.
in retail, I mean, guys, we're coming up, it's Black Friday.
Yes.
It's the season
That's
of
why I'm doing
buying.
customer
It's
experience in
the
November.
season of buying. I constantly am purchasing. I'm such an easy upseller. Like if companies tried to upsell me, I'm so easy because I buy everything in multiple colors. And if Amazon knew that, if the big boys knew that, if places I shopped like Abercrombie, Zara, if these people knew that, Nordstrom, if they just knew that about me, man, they would get me every time because if I really like a pair of shoes, I'm buying them in 2 different colors because I need them in 2 different colors.
Mhm.
And so looking at upsell cross sell motions, that's super easy way to just gain ROI with the product you're investing in. Again, talking to a lot of customers, their agents don't know how to close a sale. And so they don't know how to close a sale. They don't feel uncomfortable enough to it. And it doesn't just have to be with sales. This could be customer experience, right?
Mhm.
If I'm calling in to figure out, hey, I need help with my order and I need to change the address or something. They're like, "Oh, Miss Kurzenski, I saw that you ordered these shoes in pink, but do you also need them in green? Because looking at your previous order status, you really like to purchase things in different colors." It's such an easy upsell cross-sell motion, but every business should be looking at it. So it's like
Mhm.
it's those little things that not only internally can we fix, but externally, like customers are just sitting out there waiting to buy things. Your credit card is going. And so how do we drive revenue that way?
Mhm. I agree. And I think you bring up a really good point with the upsell and cross sell of, being able to enable the employees to be able to have these conversations so that they feel confident, that they feel comfortable. So how would
Yeah.
you say those? Because obviously that's definitely a business strategy. That's definitely a business outcome that companies are looking for every single day. How would you say though is that the tech, how could you back that goal with technology, with what's going on right now?
There's so many ways and so many different technologies that I would leverage to accomplish these goals, right? So whether I'm just doing, leveraging CX tools or CCAS tools to enhance my self-service on that first one that we talked about. Second one would be really AI tools to help dive deeper into conversations. And so tools that can look at and take an x-ray of every conversation. They can, transcribe 100% of the calls and pull out different
Mhm,
intents, keywords, phrases, emotions. And then the
mhm,
third one would be agent assist tools within contact center products, right? Agent assist tools are huge. And once I saw one for the first time, I knew they were going to be a huge game changer,
mhm,
especially for those conversations that you're having with your agents that are too afraid to maybe upsell or
mhm,
cross sell within the business, right? And so it's empowering them to feel confident in those conversations. And it really comes back to the technology that's doing it, because if I don't have technology and my workflow sucks and I'm on an old system that doesn't help me do my job, I'm not going to work there. I'm not going to do it. Like at the end of the day, we're not going to do
mhm,
it.
mhm,
And so, and I'm speaking as a millennial. As a millennial, I need that updated technology. And so there's so many tools out there. Ashley and I can help you navigate it, which is great,
mhm,
navigating the landscape. So whether you're a customer here in certain type of vertical, we're happy to have these conversations with you all day long.
mhm. And yeah, and I agree, Heather. Like you said, it's, looking at it from every unique business perspective, because one company could be doing something in one area super great, or another is, hey, I already uplifted my whole entire system. I'm in the cloud now, but it's not doing everything that I want it to be
Yeah.
doing. What can I be doing more? Or maybe, you went to a cloud provider that isn't, AI is just such a huge topic of conversation, and that will be a full
Mhm.
month focus because there's a
Oh, we're
lot
gonna
to
have a
there.
conversation about AI because I need to have
Yes.
a conversation around AI and just that. Like it's so general. People ask me
Yeah.
around AI. I'm like, this could go for hours. So our next conversation should be about AI.
Yes, exactly. But I do think that, like you had said, that in all of those different areas, and how we can help is especially looking at those specific use cases and not just throwing a technology out there that says, hey, this technology can solve for this area, because it's not going
Hmm.
to be effective if there's no goals really in mind. How can
Yeah.
we build this? Let's first look at it, let's build the strategy. What are you looking to do? What exactly are you looking to, have higher bulk sales? Are you looking to, only gain larger customers? And how can a technology actually fit into that? And sometimes it might not. You might already have all the tools, but you're just not using them effectively to their best ability. So that's
Yeah.
really what approach that, we're looking to take.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited. Let's take that approach.
What vertical should we focus on first?
Dude, I'm going hard in retail this month. Are you kidding me? Let's go.
Oh yeah, with Black Friday coming up, we have to.
We have to. Well, I love it. Thanks, Ashley. I
Awesome.
appreciate it.
Yes. Well, thank you, Heather, so much. And if there's any verticals that you all want to look at, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.